The storm also caused significant damage, including to some iconic locations. Waves at Pemaquid Point were breaking over 20 feet and caused major damage to the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse.
I think we have some video of it. We could roll that now.
Yep. There was also debris strewn across the property surrounding the lighthouse, and the fence was knocked down as well.
Yeah, the nearly 200-year-old lighthouse is featured on the state quarter and is a popular coastal destination. However, the town does think there's enough of the structure remaining to rebuild. They hope to get it restored by